So we all know the story of the parting of the Red Sea, right? But have you ever stopped to think about what happens right after? I mean, in the moments and days following a miracle that huge? Well, that's exactly what we're diving into today. A story that starts with this massive, soaring triumph, and then, boom, hits a sudden, desperate crisis.
And everything we're talking about today, it's coming straight from this one source, Exodus, chapter 15. We're going to break down the whole thing, the celebration, the struggle, and this really surprising pattern that shows up right after one of the most famous events in history.
So that's really the big question, isn't it? They've just seen the impossible. Their enemies are gone. They're finally free. What on earth happens next? What's the very next chapter in their story? All right, let's get into it. So the first thing that happens, it's a song. And we're not talking about just any song. This is an epic, seemingly spontaneous hymn of victory, with Moses leading the charge and all the people of Israel joining in.
And this is how it kicks off. Just listen to that. It's this powerful, in-your-face declaration of what they all just saw. There's no gray area here, right? This is a celebration of a complete, total victory that came from a divine hand.
And the song, it does more than just celebrate. It actually recounts the entire event. It's like a play-by-play of their enemy's complete collapse, talking about how Pharaoh's best chariots, his chosen captains, all drowned in the Red Sea.
Wow. I mean, the imagery here is just incredibly vivid and so final. It really drives home the point that their pursuers didn't just drown, they sank like stones. They're gone. Forever. The threat has been completely, totally neutralized.
And this is where the song does something really interesting. It shifts from talking about the past to predicting the future. It actually says that the nations all around them, places like Palestine, Edom, and Moab, they're going to hear about this and they're going to be terrified. So this victory wasn't just for them, it was a message to the whole region.
But the celebration doesn't end there, not by a long shot. It blows up into this full-blown community event, and it's led by another really key figure in this story.
And that figure is Miriam. The text calls her a prophetess. Now, what does that mean? It means she's seen as an inspired teacher, a proclaimer of God's will. This title gives her some serious spiritual authority and leadership, which really sets the stage for her big moment in this celebration. And you could just picture it, right? Miriam grabs a timbrel, which is kind of like a tambourine, and she leads all the women in this massive celebration of dance and song. This is not some quiet, thoughtful moment. It is an absolute explosion of joy.
And get this, listen to the words she sings. It's the exact same refrain that started Moses' song. This one line ties the whole thing together. You have the men singing this epic long poem, and the women responding with its most powerful core message. It's just incredible.
But then, the music stops, the dancing fades, and that incredible high from the miracle, it smacks right into the stark, unforgiving reality of where they are, the wilderness. And the shift in tone here is, well, it's incredibly abrupt.
Okay, so just look at the journey they take. Right after this huge party, Moses leads them away from the Red Sea and into the wilderness of Shur. And they walk for 3 days. Imagine that. Day 1, nothing. Day 2, still no water. By day 3, they find absolutely nothing. You can just feel the desperation growing with every single step.
And this, right here, leads to the first major test after their big escape. It's a crisis that puts the memory of that incredible miracle head-to-head with their immediate life-threatening thirst.
So, finally they find water. They arrive at this place called Marah. But can you just imagine the crushing disappointment? After 3 days of being desperate for a drink, the water they find is bitter. It's so bitter, in fact, that that's what the place is named. Marah literally means bitterness. It's completely undrinkable. And this is the turning point. The very same community that was just singing and dancing, well, now they're murmuring against Moses. Their faith, which was sky high just a few days ago, has just slammed into its first major roadblock. And this is their question. It's so simple, so desperate, and you can just hear the accusation in it. It's a challenge, not just to Moses' leadership, but it seems like a challenge to the whole idea of escaping Egypt. You know, did we do all that just to come out here and die of thirst?
So what does Moses do? He doesn't get into an argument with the people. He cries out to God. And the solution is, you guessed it, another miracle. God shows him a particular tree, Moses throws it into the water,
And just like that, the bitter water becomes sweet, drinkable.
Okay, so this whole event at Marah, it isn't just about fixing a water problem. It becomes this really pivotal teaching moment, one that starts to set up a new kind of relationship between God and the people of Israel.
And right after the water is healed, God makes this promise. He basically says that if they listen to his commands, he'll protect them from all the diseases he brought on the Egyptians. And then he says this key line, "For I am the Lord that healeth thee." So the bitter water becomes a symbol of a much deeper kind of healing that's being offered.
And what happens right after this test, right after this promise? Their journey takes them to a place of incredible relief and abundance, a place called Elim.
I mean, the contrast with Marah couldn't be more extreme. Elim is a true oasis. It doesn't have just one spring of water, it has 12 wells. It's not just a little shade, it has 70 palm trees. Right after the bitterness and the test, they are brought to a place of just overwhelming provision.
So, as we wrap this up, we're left with this big question. This one chapter, it lays out this really dramatic cycle. You have deliverance, then hardship, then the people complain, and then comes divine provision. Is this the pattern? Is this the defining cycle that's going to shape their entire journey from here on out?